Hello, folks. I'll give you a little bit of a look see around the room here. As you can see, I'm still in a recovery facility. I've been in this particular facility for uh, about 5 weeks, and today it's been 1 month and 1 week that I've been in here. I've been in the hospital since the 22nd of September and haven't seen home. Been in intensive care units and recovery wards and everything else because I was just damn near paralyzed when they brought me into this facility. I broke my neck. About 90 days ago, they did the surgery to correct the broken bones. But this time, after about the 12th time I broke my neck in my lifetime, hairline fractures, knocking the fin off of the back, the dorsal fin off of the back of the vertebrae several times, splitting vertebrae in half. This time it got my spinal cord. So about 2 months ago, they had to get a brain surgeon in here and do neurosurgery on me. I've also got stenosis, which is where the nerves that come out to feed your extremities and everything. The tunnel in the bone narrows down because of the calcium deposit and starts strangulating the nerves. Plus, I had broken my neck at C3 on the vertebrae. Very seldom do any people come through that and live. I'm the first one I've ever heard of, and pretty much the first one that my doctors have even heard of that lived through the injuries that I have. So I'm really lucky to be here. But anyway, I had to stop my physical therapy. I was doing really good and everything, but I noticed that I've got neuropathy real bad, which is a deficit in being able to feel my hands, how much pressure I'm putting on, a burning, stinging, really bad sensation. Feels like my hand's trying to go into a Charlie horse. If you'll notice, the fifth finger, ring finger is crooked in. That's a malady called Dupuytren's contracture, and it's very prevalent in Norwegians. We tend to get it in our older age, along with COPD and chronic asthma. Seems to be something that is really prevalent with people of Norwegian bloodline. Anyway, I had to kick off physical therapy because we got my core strength up real good. I'm able to do sit ups in the bed without having to push myself up with my hands and my arms. And I had real bad swelling in both of my legs. Left side, I've got a prosthesis, an artificial leg that I've been wearing for 42 years. I grew up in it, I grew old in it, but I was having trouble even lifting the weight of the prosthesis and being able to move that old stump around. So, needless to say, I started working on my own about 3 days ago to bring strength and motor control back to my lower legs, which unfortunately I tried to get them to do that in physical therapy, and all they wanted to do is keep working on my upper body. Well, I got to a point where my shoulders and my neck were hurting so damn bad because I'm eat up with arthritis all over my back. My old back is my old back is worn out like a dump truck in a main. Been overloaded too long for too many years, and I've not done any maintenance work, and other than the last little bit trying to save the framework. The muscle never gave up, but the bone underneath it did. So let that be a warning to you young guys. Listen to us old fuckers. We know what we're talking about because we've been around quite a damn long time, especially for me. Most of the people in my family die between 45 and 55 years old, and I've made it to 60. So I'm the oldest living man on both sides of the family, going back 5 generations. Most of them croak between, like I say, 45 and 55. My brother was 55 when he kicked. So, anyway, I'm the last living member of six siblings, only one to make it to 60 years old. But I've been doing my own therapy. I'm getting now where I can stand without having to have anything braced. I can pull my old pants up around my waist. I can put myself in and out of the wheelchair real good and everything. So hopefully, in about 4 weeks, I come up on the first of the new year. They're going to review my case and tell me whether I need to stay in the institution longer or I can go home. If you guys would, please give me a little prayer because I'd like to go home. Uh, I haven't seen home, like I say, in over 3 months now. And there's things that I'd like to do to get back going with my life. And if you would, say a little prayer for me because I know I'm going to have some permanent handicap over this one now. I'm hoping that I don't end up in a wheelchair, folks, but if I can get where I can get around on a crutch like I had been up until the 22nd of September, I was doing real good until the doctor told me that in the next 3 months, you may end up going down. And what happened to me is when the spinal cord injury caught up with me, it was like having a stroke. So I'm suffering basically a medium range stroke effects in my extremities. It hasn't affected my face or anything, but it sure ended up in about a 30 to 40% deficit on the left side of my body. Right now, right side is stronger, but it's all been beat to shit. I've got the right leg has got an 18-inch titanium plate and 4 1/4-inch lag bolts about 4 inches long, holding the lower knee and down the shin bone. And then on that same foot, I had 3 toes cut off and sewed back on when I was a kid, and also had a knife thrown at the arch of my foot right where the ankle goes that went all the way through between the metatarsals and from the top side and was poking the knife out the bottom side of my foot. So I've had a pretty hectic life all my life. I've been injured more times than I care to acknowledge. But anyway, y'all say a prayer for me and hope we can get me out of here because I'd like to continue on. I've got some ideas on some things that I want to do when I get out. We're going to monkey with a few wind generators, and I've got my big generator. I've got to get it serviced. I fired it up right before I ended up going into the hospital. This all started on May the 3rd when I went in complaining about my neck and they ended up pulling my gallbladder out. So May the 3rd, they put me on a 57-hour standby I couldn't have water, I couldn't have nothing for 57 hours waiting on emergency surgery for my gallbladder. But evidently, as soon as it was done robotically, as soon as the tool hit and touched the gallbladder, it exploded. And they had to clean my old insides up to keep me from turning septic and everything. So the old doc said, while I was in there cleaning up, I kind of looked at all the rest of your organs, and they say everything looks pretty good. So I've been cleared of cancer. They had me thinking that I had cancer and a lung tumor and a bunch of other stuff for about 3 months. So I told them, prove it to me with a medical test on a double blind. And so they did.